All right, so this is going to be our first episode. This is episode 1 of
So
the
many.
gray area. Of so many, right? So today, as an intro to this channel, we're just going to be having conversations talking about different topics, and we're getting 2 different perspectives. We're getting, my perspective, and we're getting, AmilG's perspective.
Oh yeah, let's see how this goes.
All right, so the first thing that I want to talk about for our first episode is, are you open-minded in a relationship? We want to talk about being open in a relationship.
Like, what kind of open mind are you talking about?
Well, in a relationship, well, first and foremost, let's just start off like this. Do you consider yourself to be an open-minded person? We're kind of doing a mukbang right now too. We're eating, so.
It depends. It depends. Because I don't know, I'm not gonna be open-minded as, oh, let's do a 3-way. So it depends what. Like what?
Okay. When it comes to your partner and your partner's happiness, what are you willing to do? Like, do you see yourself having any restrictions?
There's
Or-
a restriction in any relationship. There's always a kind of restriction. Like, hey, don't cheat, respect me, do this, do
Boundaries,
that.
okay.
So there's boundaries. So there's no way you can, don't have that. There's always some kind of boundaries with restriction.
Okay, well, you don't have to generalize the statement. You can just, talk about you and your experiences. So,
I feel like you have to have some kind of boundaries
of course.
and some kind of respect towards your relationship, because sometimes your relationship wants to, I want to do this, and you're like, you know what, I cross my boundaries to do what you want. That's something that you will feel not safe, or you feel like it's
So
not
is
good
your
for you.
love unconditional?
Yeah, it is.
It is?
Yeah.
So if you truly love someone unconditionally, do you feel like there should be any limits to your love? Meaning, if your person, needs you to do something, like what? If you have restrictions, I understand having boundaries because that's your self-respect, that's your self-worth. But if it comes to, the relationship and what it takes to make it better, how are you still having restrictions?
If it's to make the relationship better, there's no restriction, because you have to think about it like your partner was, you know what, I want to cheat, I want to fuck someone else, I want to have sex with someone else, I want to do a 3-way.
Okay.
And your boundary is like, I don't gonna cheat on you, I don't want you to cheat on me. But to fix the relationship, you have to be okay, oh yeah, you have to cheat on me, so the relationship will be better. Do you think it's gonna be a good shit? So you are unhappy about it, because you're trying to make your other person happy. So you have to accept that. That's just giving you just a small example of situations of life. So you have to be okay with it
Okay.
to make the other person happy. So it's like, they are not being unhappy because I'm making you happy. That's why they have
So
to
you
be
walk
happy.
away.
I had to walk away
Okay.
because I'm gonna be unhappy. So you're gonna be happy, I'm gonna be unhappy. So it's not gonna be a good relationship.
Okay.
What about you? Tell me. You think that it's okay, You know what? If your person do this, do that.
Well,
How?
from my perspective, I feel like boundaries are definitely important. Boundaries are what we set up in order to protect ourselves from fuckery. So that's fair. But at the same time, I just don't feel like you can consider yourself to be an open-minded person if you're telling yourself, there's just certain things I will not do under no circumstances. It kind of comes off as selfish because, you might be dealing with someone that is very open-minded and they do love you unconditionally and they're willing to do whatever it takes. If you ask them to do anything, they would be open to it. It doesn't mean you have to like it, but at least trying it and seeing if it works for you. But I feel like just kind of stomping your feet down and saying no without even giving it a proper chance is selfish behavior.
Okay, why? So you're talking about, let's say that we are dating an open mind person.
Okay.
And that open mind is so open mind that you're like, damn. Do you think they're really, everybody, that kind of open mind person is always open mind? do you think they have a limit on it? Everybody has a limit. You can cross boundaries without you knowing it, because you expect that person to be so open that you don't expect them to be upset with some sort of situation. Maybe they like to do a three-way, and you're like, you know what?
That's not the only scenario.
I'll just give you a scenario that everybody just do. Some people do it. Not everybody. Just some people do it. But let's say that I just want to do a three-way by myself, and they don't want that because they want to be in the situation. But you are open-minded to doing it, so why I cannot do it?
Okay, I'm confused. Rerun that back.
Okay, let's say that you are dating an open-minded person,
right,
and you guys accept to do a three-way.
Mm-hmm.
But you want to do a three-way, but not with your person, with two randoms. And that person doesn't want that because he wants to be in the scenario. He wants to do that with you. Okay. Then you are not open-minded. Everybody has a limit. Your person has a limit. So they can be like, oh, I'm open-minded, but you're not. Because you put in a limit to your partner. So you want to do certain things. Like your person wants to do certain things, doing some different things, but doesn't want you to do the same thing. There's some people like that, and they say that they are open-minded when they are not.
Well, obviously that's not open-minded then.
But they still say that they're open-minded, and they still make you feel like they are open-minded, but they want it in their own way. And there's a lot of people doing that.
Well, that's not an open-minded person then. That would be a hypocrite. That's not.
So how do you feel when you person tell you, you know what, I want to cheat on you? I'm open to that.
Why are we even using that word?
So there's no cheating.
I feel like cheating is you stepping out on your commitments without your person's knowledge.
So it's okay that your person knows, so you can do some kind of stuff like that, or anything like that. Let's say that I want to get a tattoo.
I feel like you should, if you're leaning towards another person, and you are in a monogamous relationship, I think that you should have a conversation with your person. Is it feelings? Are you just crushing, or is this something that you truly want to explore? Because when we're saying cheating, like, what are we talking about? Physically cheating with no emotions involved, or we're talking about long-term, emotional attachment?
So wait, so you told me that
you have to be more specific.
If you don't want to have sex with someone and you have any emotions, that's okay to do it?
What do you mean?
That your person, or whoever you're dating, they tell you, I'm into this person, I want you to have sex with that person.
I think we would, I feel like we would have to have a conversation on why.
I just want to fuck them. I just want to fuck them.
There's going to be a reason.
I just like the body. I want to experiment something new.
I feel like at that point I would have to have a conversation with my person and really ask them, like, are you committed to the situation? Because if we are already in a commitment and you're looking to step out, if it's monogamous, by the way, we're talking monogamous scenario, then maybe you're not a monogamous person then.
Okay.
And if you want to explore your options while we're together, maybe you should identify as a polyamorous person.
Okay.
And at that point, I would have to figure out if that's what I would want to do. But I think it's important to have a conversation about it, because if you're that kind of person that's just, strong arming your person, like, oh, you better not cheat on me and this and that, like, what are you reinforcing? You're reinforcing someone to do things behind your back. Make them, let them know that it's okay to have a conversation. Like, we're not always going to agree and we're not always going to share the same values, but at least if we can have a conversation about it and we can figure out what the problem actually is, then we can come to a resolution. It doesn't mean we'll be together in the end, but at least we can understand where we're both coming from.
Okay,
I can help you figure out who you are.
So it's about the communication of the person.
The communication is the most important thing.
Okay.
It doesn't mean we're going to be together.
Yeah,
it just means that we will come to a healthy resolution.
All right. I mean,
I feel like, if your partner, is telling you, like, oh, I'm attracted to this person, which in most cases in a monogamous relationship, that's a big no-no. You have to pretend like you're not attracted to people anymore, because it's like, oh no, how could you, are you going to cheat, But I feel like something that needs to be, considered is, at the end of the day, we're humans and we can change our minds. So you may come into the relationship thinking, you know what, I see myself with you for a long time. And then later on down the line, you still see yourself with that person, but you see yourself with that person while also exploring other people in the process. But just because someone is not you, and they're like, let's just say you're the kind of person that would never have that thought in your mind, great, that's you, that's not the other person. But just because you have your values and your own perspective, it does not mean you should strong arm someone into having your same values. Like, oh, you better not cheat on me, you better not do this. Like, what are you reinforcing? You're reinforcing someone to hide who they are from you. Because if they figured out that they're a polyamorous person, you have successfully strong-armed your person, and now they feel too afraid to speak their mind. And let's just say they never cheat on you. You got your wish while this other person is suffering because you asserted that sort of dominance that just wasn't needed. Encourage people to open up and be themselves so that they could figure out who they truly need to be with. And maybe that's not you, and that's fine. But there's just no reason to push your values on other people in an aggressive way. A lot of people do that, like how you said. You see your whole, your tone and everything when you speak about the word cheating. You understand? Cheating, if your person cheats. But at the end of the day, why do you feel like you need to do this? Is this just an impulsive thing? Do you feel like you're just lacking some spontaneity and you feel like you need that spontaneity with, a random person? Or is there something more to this? Do you see yourself doing this frequently with other people while we're together? Then maybe you're polyamorous. That means you may be committed to me and you see yourself in me forever, but you also want to get to know people from time to time. And you have to come to terms with that. And you have to think to yourself, like, am I okay with that? And if you're not, then you walk away from your person.
I think some people need to communicate about that. And a lot of people do not express themselves. Like, you know what?
Right.
I want to be in your life, but there's this certain things I want to do.
Right. I mean, it's a
and
simple
they don't do
conversation.
that. They used to think like we, you use the word cheating all the time. It's because, you feel like they are cheating when maybe they were not. Maybe they want to communicate with you, but they know how you feel and how you express yourself from the beginning. If you shit, I will do this and do that. It's like, okay, let me shit behind.
Everybody has a reason for doing something. And I think that if you're in a relationship with someone, you should have empathy, compassion, and you should want to know who your person is. I think you should encourage people to open up.
You have to let them express themselves.
Right.
So you can understand it, because not everyone has the same size of shoes. No matter if you're 7, you are 7, it doesn't mean that it's going to fit. Some people have more different kind of,
Incompatibility is a thing, So it's sometimes things work and sometimes they don't.
That looks like my love is not unconditional, because there's some limitations that I cannot accept.
I feel like for me, if I am truly committed to something emotionally, there aren't any limits for me. I'm willing to try it all with the one that I love. But why you
are willing? So it means that you are putting your feelings, your things aside.
I'm not putting my things aside, because me as a person that identifies as a pansexual, woman, I am open to everyone.
Okay, but
I don't have any restrictions.
Okay, but let's say that. Love. Okay, so you're a pan. I'm gay. I'm lesbian.
Right.
So let's put it in the size of a straight woman or a straight man. That doesn't go in any both direction, and there's a lot of them out there.
Right.
Like really a lot. So how they're feeling when your person, your woman or your man is like, you know what, I want to, and there's a lot of homophobic. Way too many. We just want to talk about a serious thing. Okay. And your person say, you know what, I want to have a 3-way, but I want to have sex with a woman. Or I want to, your man wants to have a sex with a man.
If your love is unconditional, you would want your person to live the life that they want to live. It's either you're going to support it from the sidelines or you're going to strong arm them. It doesn't mean you have to agree with what your partner does. It's supporting them, which means I can support you. I can say, you know what, Gigi? The lifestyle you want to live, I do not resonate with. But I love you unconditionally and I want to support you in this. I just cannot support you as your romantic partner, but I could support you as a friend. But shunning someone, like, oh no, how dare you, this and that.
I'm not saying shaming or making feel bad. I'm saying as a straight person is going to keep in the relationship. Some of them...
You don't have to, but that's not what I was saying though. I'm saying if your love is unconditional, you should be willing. If your person feels like they need to explore their options, let them do that.
Yeah, I will let them.
But
I will not be with them.
You don't have to.
So
you don't have to.
So that's okay. Live your life, but I can't do that.
That's fair. That's your boundaries. Respect them. Totally fine.
Because a lot of people feel like, damn, you're gonna
But there's
love me
people
because-
out there that
Because
when their partner expresses what they want to do and they don't agree with it, there's people that like to strong arm or completely, you know, antagonize their person and make them feel small. If you don't agree with something, you don't have to.
Same with trans community. You're married with a man, and when they're like 40 or they are 30, they find themselves finally. They feel that they're more free with you. Let's put it this way, and they want to trans to the other gender because that's how they feel. Always, but right now they are the time.
Right.
Some people are not okay with it. They cannot stay. They are okay. They support you, but they cannot be with you.
All you could ever hope for is unconditional love. Unconditional love, in my opinion, from my perspective, is, you know, loving someone no matter who they are. You don't have to continue to be with them, because you should never be with someone that you don't feel romantically attracted to. Like, you don't see yourself being with them. Absolutely
in that
not.
side, my
support them.
love is gonna be there. I will support them, but there's a limitation of who you are.
You're entitled to that.
So I will support them, whatever the hell you want to do. It's just there's some stuff that I cannot do.
That's fine. How I am, I feel like not only is my support unconditional, but I feel like my love is as well. So if I'm in a situation where, you know, I'm dealing with someone that transitions later on in life, I'd be willing to try. But you have to give me time to be open to this, because if I'm saying I do, meaning I'm saying I commit to you, I understand I'm committing to every version of you. But again, if it is something new, it's something unknown, and I would just need time. But for me, I'm not just going to be like, yeah, no. Like, I feel like that's just not, like, I just can't do that for someone that I truly love and want to be with. Like, if you have transitioned and you're just completely different, maybe your perspective changes. Like, I'm open to learning about you and starting all over again. I just can't see myself quitting over something like that, or over anything, really. I want to understand you.
So you feel like people, when they don't do what you say, like, they're like, you know what, I want to
Not everyone is like that.
I know, but let's say that, you know, we are together. We are not, guys, please, we're not.
It's a scenario. Okay, yeah.
And, you know, I'm a woman, but, you know, I feel like feel like I'm a man, and I want to do that, you know, I want to trans to be a man, because that's how I feel. That's how I feel inside me forever. So, what you say, you know, before is like, okay, you will try and, you know, and see if you're okay with that.
I would be open. I'd be open to still being with you.
But then you see the other side that people like, no, they really fast away. No, you don't feel the other side is like they're gonna be unhappy. They're like, you know what? I love you. I want to make you feel happy. I support you. I don't want to be with you because you are the other gender, but at the same time, I want to be with you. You know, there's a lot of people like that. They just like, I want to, but I don't want to because people gonna.
We have to understand real life versus a simulation. You thinking about scenarios in your mind of how it would be to now date someone who is completely different than what you could have ever imagined. Yeah, you're in your head.
Okay.
Let's live real life.
So they're already...
let's try to actually do this in real life versus creating scenarios in our mind. So when it comes to that, if you're saying no right away, it's because you're thinking about how it would be. Like, But how you think things could be, sometimes we may exaggerate things, and sometimes, you know, the perspective we have in our mind, it does not correlate to real life. So I think it's important to at least try, but it doesn't mean that if you try, you're going to be successful. You can still dislike it in the end, but at least you know you tried and you actually gave your relationship like.
So it's like a try and error. Let's just try.
You should always be willing to try. If your love is unconditional, you should be willing. Okay. Be willing to at least give it a go, but it doesn't mean to lie to yourself either. If you've been trying for years and you know it's just not going, then of course, you know, don't string your partner along. Let them know, like, hey, like I've been trying to accept the new changes that have been going on, and I don't feel like we're connecting. We may be growing apart. Okay. But I feel like if your love is unconditional, then you should still support the person.
That's way better to not waste their time or your time. It's like, okay, you know what? I support you, but let me just get the fuck out. Right. So. I will accept that shit. Right. But a lot of people do not accept that shit. They will say right away, the hell no. And it's not about the society, you know, that they put in your head, or you overthinking like, damn, you were a woman and now you are a man, or you were a man, a man, and then you're a woman. A lot of people, it's like they could be like they don't like the other gender, so it's like I don't like the other gender, because there's, you know, a lot of lesbian couple that your older person wants to be going to trans, because that's how they feel, and they cannot be with them because it's like, you are a man, I'm not attracted to men.
Okay.
I don't feel any kind, so there's no way I can help myself to like a man because I'm 100% lesbian. So there's no way. So how in that situation will work? So that person doesn't have a conditional love then.
Listen, I'm about to say something that's gonna upset people. We're gonna get. Hold on. Let me drink my juice.
We're gonna get hate. Yeah.
I'm about to upset some people here. And understand, first and foremost, before I put this out there, I'm gonna say this is my opinion, my perspective, right?
Your opinion.
So, first and foremost, I feel like me as, because I feel like I've been through it all, as far as emotionally what I'm attracted to. Obviously, I identify as a pansexual woman today, and I have been for the last 4 years. But obviously there was a time before that where I identified as a straight heterosexual woman. And then there was those times where I was attracted to women. It was like, I don't know. And then it's like it was a lot. But I feel like based off of all the perspectives of, as far as me, emotionally connecting with men or with women, from my perspective, I just feel like pansexual. This is gonna sound biased. This is based off of what I know. Like I've been through it all, but I just feel like again, my opinion. I feel like if you identify as a pansexual person, you are an open-minded person. You are the open-minded. Just imagine. I'm not talking about being bi. I'm not talking about being gay or being straight. Just think about it. You being pansexual, you not having a limitation to biological sex or anything as far as gender, you are open-minded to the possibilities. I'm not judging you based off of how you were born, and I'm not judging you based off of who you are today, if it differs from who you are when you were born.
So why do you think we're judging lesbian people and gay
That's not what I said. That's not what I said. I literally said.
So how are you gonna say pansexual people don't judge others because of the gender of this situation?
You have your preferences.
Okay.
But if we...
And you have yours. So what's the difference?
There isn't a difference.
Okay.
I'm just saying that based off of me
going through...
Listen, based off of me going through what I've gone through, me identifying as a heterosexual before I started liking, females, and then even when I was exploring that side only and I wasn't really, dealing with any men, or I wasn't really attracted to that, based off of what I have, the knowledge I have gained from going through everything I have went through, I feel like I am very open-minded as a pansexual person because I'm not putting a limitation on genders. I'm not taking away from anyone else that does that, but I feel like just think about it. Just think about, I'm not telling myself I'm not going to love you because you're a woman.
Okay. There's
plenty of situations where people can look at the qualities of someone like, wow, you are really everything I'm looking for. But because you're this, I'm not going to date you. That goes for people that goes for as far as race too. I'm open-minded on that too. I don't have any limitations on what you look like, what your physical disabilities are, or even just, your sexual orientation. I don't have any limits. So that means anybody. I'm open to being with anybody. I don't have any limitations. That's what I'm speaking for me.
So you're saying everybody,
but I'm not saying that
LGBT are closed mind to date
no.
Gender?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, speaking from, because I feel like, there's not a lot of pan perspectives, just so I can put you in my perspective.
Okay.
You identifying as a lesbian woman, just look at it from this perspective. I'm just trying to give you perspective, that's all.
Yeah.
Just imagine walking around and anybody who you feel emotionally and spiritually connected to, regardless of what they look like. It's like you're connecting with their spirit. Okay. Just imagine the possibilities of that. I don't have any restrictions. Again, I'm not coming for you.
No.
I'm just trying to I'm helping you understand where I am.
But you have to feel this way. We can connect. I can connect with a man doesn't mean that I want him in my bed.
No,
or
I
want to
understand
date
that.
him.
I understand
but no,
that.
I know what you're saying. But
Attraction is attraction.
But there's no way, like you can date a man and you can date a woman. I can date only women.
Because for me, attraction doesn't go off of body parts and physical appearance. Attraction is how I connect with you on an emotional level. So I just can't bring myself to saying, oh yeah, I'm not going to date you because you look different than me, or I'm not going to date you because you were born this way. I don't have any limitations. I don't know what you do. That's you. You can speak for yourself. But from my perspective, this is coming from a perspective of, I'm not only identifying as a pansexual, I'm identifying myself as an open-minded person in general. Because there may be people that are pan, but will refuse to date people that look a certain way as far as race and culture.
Yeah.
I don't have that restriction.
Okay.
I just don't.
Okay.
That's me.
Then you are different pan.
That's just me speaking for myself. I'm not taking away from anyone else.
Yeah, different person.
I'm just trying to give you perspective. Can you imagine anybody in this world that you feel emotionally attracted to? It doesn't matter what they look like. It's a possibility there because you're willing to connect with them on that deeper level. It's not like, you know what? You're not my type because you don't have enough of this. You're not my type because you have too much of this. Like, I'm willing to learn. Like, I want to learn about the person. If we connect on that level, like, there's just no limitations for me. That's just that. Speak from my perspective. Okay. That's all I have to say.
I mean, you have a point in a way, but a lot of people really gonna feel that you are right. That's for sure.
That I'm a what?
That you are right. A lot of people will feel like, nah, you wrong. Ding.
Listen, it's not about being right and wrong.
Yeah,
though,
it's your opinion. Yeah.
By you saying I'm right or wrong, you're being subjective in the manner. We're just speaking about perspective here. Just like what you do isn't wrong either. Yeah. You identifying as a lesbian woman, you're not wrong in that. I support you on that. I'm just trying to gain you the perspective, just to see my perspective.
Yeah, your side.
Because I understand your perspective because I've been there where I was just only attracted to women at a certain point. So I get that. But I'm just giving you perspective on where I stand today. And that is, I'm sorry, I'm eating. It's like a little mukbang.
Yeah.
But
enjoying yourself.
Again, no limitations. Doesn't matter what your race is. Doesn't matter what your culture is, your religion. I am open. As long as we can connect on something real and genuine, nothing fake. Something real and genuine. There's always a possibility there. And that's why for me,
we're gonna leave that open question for a lot of people.
Right.
A lot of people need to comment down.
Yeah. The question is, are you an open-minded lover?
Like, a lot of people need to comment down there and give us like really a good shit down there. Cause
are you open-minded?
Are you open-minded? You close? What
are
the
you closed-minded?
Fuck you are.
It's perspective. So again, the subject is definitely subjective.
Yeah. So guys, just comment below, subscribe, like, comment, follow, do whatever the hell you want.
This is the gray area, love.
Yep. Ciao, ciao.